Greetings and welcome to the Shadowstar Nexus. Aboard. Oh, that's really on the nose, isn't it? Aboard a continuing legacy. I can't speak today, guys. I swear, I'm not drunk, I'm just autistic. The continuing legacy of the USS Wasp. NCC 9701D. Well, do you know why it's called that for this Star Trek Online Starship Stats Review? Because the original design was a TMP era ship designed by the amazing Bill Krause. And that very design was evolved into this one. Now, before we go any further, please heed this warning. This ship is primarily acquired through in-game gambling mechanics, and as such, because I do not condone such behavior and actions, personally because of my own autism, I must advise that if you feel you have issues with it, do as I did and seek advice. Believe me, I'm talking from experience. But I'll say this now, if you are interested in this ship, then there are guaranteed ways to acquire it. Well, semi-guaranteed, depends on your patience. The ship is being sold by players in the exchange, at last check, for 1.3 unusually billion EC. So yes, very expensive, right at the top of the sales bracket, but not right there at the very top, and that was something nice to see. There are some at 1.5, it depends how many's in there. Last time I checked, 5. And I picked one of them up. I picked up one of the 1.5s because, yeah, I understand what people went through trying to pick this ship up. Greetings, members of the Federation, the Klingon Defense Force, the Romulan Republic, the Dominion, and guests of other alliances for this Star Trek Online Starship Stats Review, where we will be taking a look at a continuing legacy of one unbelievably beautiful starship. I cannot give credit to Bill Krause, to the guys behind Star Trek Picard, and to Cryptic for the implementations of this. Cannot give them enough credit. I mean, they have done really well. I'll be honest, when I first saw this ship in the show, I thought immediately, well, there's the one that I won't be getting. Because I recognised the Hornet straight away. The Wasp straight away. But I just didn't like the way that lower module was shoved forwards and not balanced in the middle. Bad me. Well, actually, bad me right up to the point of this review, because, well, it didn't work on the test server, so I had to put my hands up and go, fine, I will directly purchase this ship and actually have it on this character, because unfortunately the lockboxes that I chose to open via the test server in order to avoid gambling, yeah, that didn't work out. Well, I got the lockbox, but I didn't get a lockbox with this ship available. I'm not sure if it's a bug or not, but hey. It meant I had to get this ship, and you know what? Being forced into picking up a ship with that many torpedo launchers, much like the original Wasp, well, I am just ashamed at you, Cryptic, for not making this ship a command vessel. This is screaming to be a science torpedo boat. You should have made this a command science spearhead. Just saying. Now that that argument is out the way, allow me to bring forward the actual stats of this vessel, and, well, are they nice? Would you look at that? 5 minutes in, guys, and I'm actually on the stats. A tier 6 Federation Starship, or Federation Aligned. Yeah, unless you've got a certain thing unlocked. This ship comes with the hull modifier of 1.35, shield modifier of 1.15. A bit unexpected for a science vessel, but okay. 4 forward weapons, 3 aft, 3 device slots. That is kind of expected for a science. Spearhead. She has the base turn rate of 13, the impulse modifier of 0.19, an inertia rating of 55, the excellent for her style, plus 15 to both engines and weapons for bonus power, ability to equip dual cannons, the secondary deflector, as all science vessels should have, including the science carriers, cryptic, and sorry, sensor analysis, of course. She being a miracle worker science spearhead, has the innovation Starship mechanic, quantum slipstream drive, more accurately the cylindrical quantum slipstream drive. Her Starship mastery package is science vessel, which is going to really benefit her, as we will talk about in a moment. And to round herself out and to physically decide the make or break, well, they went quite interesting here. 2 tactical, 4 engineering, 5 science, and of course 1 universal. She is a miracle worker, with the bridge officer stations being a commander science with miracle worker specialization, 2 lieutenant commanders, 1 engineering with pilot specialization, 1 tactical, 1 lieutenant universal, and 1 ensign universal. Now, some of you may be thinking right now, looking at these stats, you might already be seeing why I say make or break with this ship. Fundamentally speaking, this ship is the exact opposite of the TMP. The TMP ship was a beautiful design, similar to what we are looking at here, just with the Miranda class torpedo module connected via basically a Constitution neck, like this secondary module below, or deflector module below, is connected to this ship. If you haven't guessed yet, I can't pronounce the ship's name, and I'm too willing to call it the Duda or the Dude. So yeah, I'm avoiding taking the mick out of it because I really like the Wasp. And honestly, this ship, in all its glory and design and the way it performed in the show, is a ship that should be beastie and torpedo mad. Yes, it's got phaser beam strips, but they're basically secondary weapons on this vessel. No, what we have here is a vessel that is very much an energy boat, with so many engineering seats and the ability to X upgrade to X2, which of course I've done to test it at full strength. This gives it a grand total of 7 possible ISOMAG consoles. And that's a lot of power for energy weaponry. But ISOMAGs aren't really useful in the kinetic build. At least I personally just straight up still think exploiters and locators are the best to be using for a kinetic build. But with this ship having so few tactical slots and a maximum of 3 universal slots, that is 5 tactical consoles, one of them probably being nicked for the Lorca custom control. Ouch. Ouch, I say. And with no command seating on this ship, yep, you're not going to be using this ship for a kinetic build in any what way. I tried, okay, hands up, I tried to use a kinetic science build on this ship, and let me put it this way, I've been having no luck with the number of people testing ships out and testing builds out right now, there's a lot of very powerful DPSs, and I'm just a support. So I'm sitting here looking at them going, ah! Yeah. But from what I can pick up and from the research I've done for you guys, I will determine this right now for you, just drop it there. Don't expect to be using high-end kinetic builds on this vessel. We wish. You can build good kinetic vessels on this, good kinetic ships on this. I did build a 110k build personally. That was also partly science. That was reasonable. Went full on science and actually DEW-SCI. Managed to get up to 150 DPS. Otherwise, talking energy builds, I've got a lot of interruptions. There is one run that I did where literally the DPS... no, I'm actually gonna... if I can drag it up, I'm gonna show you that one. Oh no, lost it. Ah! Show me it, donk. It doesn't want to show now. It doesn't want to show now. Oh dear. Come on, show me. Yink. Don't go behind, don't go behind, don't go behind. Woo, I've got it. I specifically saved this one. This is the one that's from yesterday, and it's after a few bad passes. Literally, can scatter volley, beam, fire at will. These were ones I was doing on stream, and they were terrible. But this one makes me laugh the most, and that was a DEW-SCI build. Yeah, it's funny to say my DEW-SCI build went massively over the top of that afterwards. I was doing something wrong. I forgot about trains. Oops. But all jokes aside, yeah, I've been following up on what basic readings have been saying, and we are looking at a pretty good DPS vessel overall. I have heard that in certain runs, elite, I'm never doing elites without a full crew to go with. Frankly, I've been impressed. There's been a 500, a 600. These are the early game stats. The just come out, just unlocked. How good can we go? This ship has a lot of potential DPS wise, so straight away I'll give you my DPS score for this ship. It is 8 out of 10, and I think the only difficulty here is because it's a miracle worker pilot, you are trying to balance the abilities, though that pilot did come in handy when trying to use its trait. If the trait's not bugged, at the moment I think the trait is bugged. That's a smaller issue. Oh, hello wind. Yeah, but if anyone hasn't realised, the storm is still hitting over the UK. Now, that's DPS. I wanted to get DPS out of the way straight away, because this ship, you'd expect it to be a really high performing DPS ship. I did. I thought that we were going to get a brilliant performing DPS ship when it came to STO. I was like, the moment we saw it in the show and it got its nickname, the Old Angry Ship, Ray's Angry, I blew up my nacelle. We thought this was going to be a DPS vessel. I'm sure, well, I say we, I'm sure the majority of us believed it would be, and I was... But tanking wise, this ship is actually really good. Not the best, but it is really good. It can hybrid tank, it can whole tank, it's relatively good shield tanking, and if you want to do a regenerative build, wow, it's a science ship. Oh, science ships are always good when it comes to regenerative tanks. So so long as the science ship has the right armor to go along with it, it'll always make a good regen tank. As a result, strongly believe that if you are a tank player, this is a ship to pick up for you, and for that reason I'm giving this ship 9 out of 10 right there. Bearing in mind that this is a lockbox ship, and I always score down ships when they're in the lockbox. So this is one of those times where I can't score the ship down, and it might be a little bit biased, but it's modelled from the USS Wasp. I can't. Nostalgia, okay? Trek Yard's nostalgia for my first time ever seeing it. So science. Science is where you'd expect this ship to be unbelievably amazing. We are looking at a pretty good ship, fundamentally. It is a miracle worker science vessel. It is set up to the max perfectly for DEW-SCI. Perfectly for DEW-SCI. Especially since the engineering consoles will allow you plenty of ISO mags. The science will let you go at hand with universal consoles. And you can just really max the ship out there in the DEW-SCI sector. The secondary deflector isn't bad to it, and piloting is pretty good for getting some extra damage out of the engines, reroute power from reserves, to boost that energy damage output and really hit hard. So the piloting in the Miracle Worker works really well for the ship as an energy boat, and is honestly the only reason I downmarked that from 9 was because I wanted to see this with kinetic capabilities. But the DEW-SCI, but the energy build side of it does really help DEW-SCI builds. So mark up there for the DEW science. And on into actual straight up control, drain. Brilliant. The ship has got everything it needs to do both beautifully. So we can be really happy there too. Meaning as a support vessel, this vessel is amazing. DPS support, control support, drain support, support tank. This is an absolute powerhouse, and as a result, that's my highest score, 9.5 out of 10 for its support capabilities and its scientific prowess. If only it wasn't a lockbox ship, hey? Then I'd have been going 11 out of 10. That's not even a joke. That's how much I'm marking this ship down and how much I also love the ship. Yeah. But no, seriously. This is one of those ships where straight up stats wise, I can strongly advise it and recommend getting your hands on it. It's purely because it is a fun little science vessel. It is a useful science vessel for tanks to get used to the science side of things, and it is a good science vessel for any DPSer that wants to get into the science side of DPS. And I know that sounds a bit weird to say, but yeah, the science side of DPS is fun. You're Space Wizard Harry. So let's go on to the other things. Now I'm going to be honest with you guys as we fly into this system, and I absolutely love what we see. Yes, I'm not using the standard hull. You should be able to tell that by the deflector. I've got a Sagan hull on this ship. Secondly, I really should have gone and spoken to Neojet before I did my science build. I'm sorry, when it comes to science builds, Neojet is one of my favourites to go to. But we've got some other things to talk about here, primarily because, well, this ship is a lockbox ship, and it does come with other stuff, and for once in the Blue Moon I have opened some lockboxes just to get a rough look at some of these things. So yeah, found it lucky. First of all, we have the Radiolytic Phaser Beam Array. Essentially, this is... annoy me. That's prolonged engagement. Nope. What I was going to show you was the... Oh, I wonder if I... That's why I can't see it. Terran Task Force Phaser dual heavy cannons, or disruptor version you can get. These have a special proc that once you're doing such a level of damage and the enemy's hull is below 25, you get a huge kick up in your damage output. It's beautiful. The radiolytic phasers, well, let's say they're not as unbelievably killer, but they are really powerful. Essentially, you can have a ship completely fitted out with mini Terran Task Force phaser cannons, and that for me is pretty good, especially considering that proc is pretty good. When below 25% health, you deal 30% bonus damage. I know that doesn't sound amazing because a lot of people do a huge amount of extra damage at the high end of the hit, but for a lot of DPSers, their firing cycle is still going on when they've got the enemy ship down low, especially if you're talking about these little frigates that like to pester and sting at you and like stab, yeah, driving you crazy. Those little fuckers can get blown to pieces, and you can do some extra damage, making you feel really good about it. Honestly, I don't want to say these are going to become meta phasers yet. I do think they have a potential to be among the better phasers to use, but bearing in mind my personal favourites are Sensor Linked and Pulse. I think you can guess why I like Pulse. Sensor Linked, that should go without question. But then again, I'm someone who also likes harmonic phasers and agony phasers because they have a proc on them similar to plasma. What I'm trying to say is, take my word with a pinch of salt, these are going to be really good weapons to get your hands on, but I'm not trying to say that they're going to be the best. Though, I do strongly recommend, and I will make sure they're linked, check out Stu1701 or Augmented Dictator Games. They're excellent when it comes to builds. Go over there, see what they say about it, because quite frankly, they're going to know this stuff better than me. Just saying. Those are the two that know DPS. I know support. Probably why I don't have as many followers. Jokes aside there. Oh, I love the followers I've got. No, right. There are a few other fundamental little extras you get from the thing, and I am trying to spot the mother... It'll be easier if I go into here, isn't it? There it is. Still got the clock on it. The Athen Prime Fleet Museum Beacon summons a hero ship. Quite nice, that, really. Calls a random hero ship for 60 seconds. Basically, you get a little fighter along your side. It's quite nice. What I do like seeing is we have the Voyager, the Defiant, the Enterprise, the Stargazer, the Saratoga, the Lexington. I was really hoping we might see some more, but I'm not too mad. Especially considering we're getting a new ability console from the free ship. If you haven't picked that up yet, go pick it up. It also gives you more pets to call on. Frankly, this beacon's quite nice though. Upper sides to it is the passives, which has a plus 7.5 cooldown reduction for all bridge officer abilities, a plus 28.5 to Starship damage control, and a plus 28.5 to Starship shield regeneration. This is all quite good for basically taking more damage and taking some attention off you. Kind of reminds me of the La Sirena trait a little bit, but not completely. I do feel like the La Sirena console is better. Anywho, speaking of consoles, I would love to go straight to them now. Something else to quickly bump to. Ooh! That's not right, but okay. Oh shit. Oh, did I not save the build? Okay. Okay. Well, that's going to make this a little bit harder because I did also have one saved with the new abilities on there to make them easier to find, but okay. Fireball Escape. This is one of the first space traits. Fireball Escape will give you a temporary immunity to Warp Core Breach and Buff. Yes, it's the Buffy Buff girls. Power Puff to your Warp Core when hit by a Warp Core Breach. Effective is an immunity to kinetic damage. Immunity to kinetic damage to warp core breach. Clarify, that is not an immunity to kinetic damage. That is an immunity to the warp core breach kinetic damage only. And after being hit by that breach, you get a plus 506.3% increase to your turn rate and flight speed for 8 seconds, up to 25 defense rating for 8 seconds based on your current speed, and a 20% increase to your critical severity for 30 seconds. This is really bloody powerful, and it can be triggered once every 120 seconds. So nice, every 2 minutes. Fundamentally speaking, I really like the sound of this trait. It's a useful trait, especially if you're someone who likes to run and gun, rush in, run until shit happens, and just blast the hell out of everything. The fast moving DPSer. This is going to be one of those ones that is quite useful. The problem is, to get the real use out of this, you're going to want to be one of the slower moving DPSers. You know, the one that sits there close to a lot of the ships, blasts them all, they all explode around him, and then goes, ha, I'm now flying onto that target. Well, this will be very useful to them because that's a massive boost in speed. Hell, you don't even need to use evasive maneuvers this time. Quite good, eh? Eh? Oh, my Canadian. Honestly, I do like the trait. Now, the trait that I did find a bit more fun reading into, though, was the intelligent intel handler. Your liaison in the intelligence service of your faction designates you targets. Destroying these targets within a allotted time window will provide a bonus to critical chance for moderate duration. The foes are marked for 45 seconds. Destroying them within 45 seconds will give you a plus 4% critical chance for 45 seconds. So basically, you have this on, you're going to have a constantly up 45%. So long as you keep pinging between the target, and I'm just going to be blunt with you, that's not hard to do. Especially if you're beam fire at will or a cannon scatter volley build or a torpedo spread build, you're going to find this really easy to noose out. So it's always worth keeping your mind on this one. Might want to get your hands on it, but I can't say it's one of those ones worth paying a lot for. I like the sound of it, more testing required. Oh, speaking of more testing required, while we're sitting here, I might as well bring up the trait of this starship. After all, with the Science Mastery Pack, where you get exotic damage boost, shield HP boost, healing boost, and shield regen and hardness, the final level will give you active EPS management, which, while current power average below average power, I will try to explain this in a second, a plus 25% to EPS flow. You recover power faster. While current power average above average power setting, minus 50% to EPS flow. Keeps power longer. In other words, harder to drain power away, easier to recover when below the average. What are we talking about average? Well, okay, this is where it's going to be funny. I don't know if this is working properly, but let me try and explain this. Here is my auxiliary power. I have 68 of 60 aux power right now. That means my aux power average is 60. So, while auxiliary is in the green, then I will be at that specific power will have a 50% improved 50%? Oops, I lost it again. 50% less power drain on it. But if the power drops below average, then it will gain a 25% EPS recharge to it, allowing it to recover its power quicker. Now, My engine is currently 7415. So it's a lot more above its average than it should be. At least this is the way I've been reading it. If someone would like to correct me on this, please do so. Maybe it's why I'm misreading my performance that I'm seen to be getting from the trait itself. But what I will say, fundamentally speaking, is the main ability of this, the active proc. Whenever you activate reserved to weapons, a pilot maneuver, or any energy weapon firing mode, you get the above effects tripled. So don't quite understand, but as it's power flow, I'm assuming that if you reach 100% negated power drain, well, once it goes beyond that, you're actually going to be regenerating power. So okay, someone's going to have to really explain that one to me. That's the thing I'm not really caring about. It's that 25% energy weapon bonus damage. Side note, bonus damage. Oh, this is where I'm arguing. Right, can someone tell me if this trait is bugged? Because when I read bonus, I think Cat 2. But the damage improvement I've had in testing for this doesn't show a Cat 2 bonus damage. It shows a Cat 1 increase in damage. Kind of. So, the reason I'm talking about this trait in such a blatant moment right now in front of all you guys, I would love some feedback from the rest of the STO community to let me know how this trait is actually working. Because the way it sounds to me, it should be a really, really good trait to have slotted. But from performance I've seen of it, it's not a very good trait to have slotted. As a result, I will not rank the trait. Sorry, not doing it. I can't rank it because I can't. It's one of these traits I can't get a read on. Now, this is another one, and it's made me a little bit meh. Sometimes you get really good consoles with these lockbox chips. Sometimes you get the ones which are fantastic to see, but a little bit meh in performance, and some are just meh. Sometimes they are meh to see in performance, but they work really damn well. So you kind of use them because they work really damn well, even if you don't particularly like them or like the way they look. If you like me, Space Barbie's the end game. I care more about looks than actual performance. This is one of those ones that falls in the category of looking good, looking interesting, but kind of subpar performance. Now the passives are really good in my opinion. A plus 2.9% critical chance, everyone loves a bit of critical chance. Plus 5 to your current weapon power settings. That's beautiful. It's like a little isomag chip. It's someone's taken an isomag and put a tiny isomag chip in it and just gone, hey, have a little bit more power. I'm saying isomag because I can't remember which one it is that just increases weapon power. It doesn't increase the cap. It's nice. It's okay on the passive side of things. It's okay. Now the release Calamarian store power levels in energy being that is an ally. Opens the energy being habitat, allowing the allied creature to assist in combat for 45 seconds. That creature will copy your current power levels. So whatever they currently are, it has the same power level settings. And will deal 1,419.5 electrical damage up to 5 targets in a narrow cone. This is a very narrow cone. 1% bonus damage per point of copy power. Okay? Now, the awkward thing is, on returning to the habitat, for each of the power levels, for each power level, Calamity adds 30 power plus the difference between the current and the copied values over for 10 seconds. So it gives you a push up and a bit of a boost. It is very, very strong when used correctly, and you can boost that electrical damage. From all tests I've done there, the electrical damage does get boosted by electrical damage boosting. Great! Perfect. If you're one of these shock build types, it'll be fun for you. The problem is, it's a little bit underwhelming, and I'll show you what I mean. I have very minor electrical damage boosting here, so let's fly in here first of all, and I will show you a little bit of fun. Come into range, stop, and whoops, give me just enough combat range so it will immediately dive on someone. Go, pull back, and there it is in lovely action, and it's beautiful. I love the way it looks. Honestly, I'm going to get screenshots of the way it looks. It's so nice. And quite frankly, I think it does pretty well. If you see it in active use right now, it's just taking shots. Doesn't really care too much. And it's dealing a reasonable amount of damage back out. So it is worthwhile considering using. The problem is, I really kind of wanted it to be a bit stronger, if you understand what I mean. It's nice, and as you can see, all my power settings are now through the freaking roof. It really could have done with being better. Oh, and for those that are wondering what the radiolytic phases look like, they're more narrow. Oh, and when I say they are more narrow, I mean they are more narrow. They've got the same area glow effect, they just have a much more narrow, sharp-pointed beam. And as you can see, yeah, you've got full strength. Blast living hell out of this guy first, get rid of him. Goodbye! Oh, he survived it. I'm actually surprised. Did you explode now? Thank you. If I unleash the radiolytics on him, you can see that's not what damage level they have. Bearing in mind I am using isomags, so they are getting a sizable increase in power. It's quite effective that he's only 2 isomags and he's gone. So 2 isomags, 2 isolytic dual beams, and he's gone. What was that, 4, 5 firing cycles? No, I can't complain with that. Overall, simply put, I really like the way this ship performs. And yes, I've been running this ship for an energy build with a standard deteriorating deflector because I wanted to see a basic view of this ship's abilities, ignoring the scientific side of it. It was more of a case of what the difference would be, and I'm not going to lie, working on this really does make a bit of a difference. Does make a bit of a difference? Did make a difference. It was nice to see, but mainly that's coming from the right consoles down here that jive up the power just a little bit. Got to remember, these are generally purposed for exotic. Seldom are you going to find these quite useful for other things. You can, but seldom. Okay. Well, honestly, I should show you this ship in action, shouldn't I? But before that, let's head to Deep Space Nine and I can show you the customization. It's worth having a look at for once, because there's not been a pretty damn big change there as well. And as a result, honestly, you're going to be, I'm hoping, pleasantly surprised, but you're also going to find some things a little bit funny, which is why I'm taking my time to get there so I can keep myself from cracking up. Because I'm thinking of something right now. I'm thinking, I'm glad they didn't do that on the Sagan. I don't think they did that on the Sagan. I don't remember them doing it on the Sagan. I'm glad they didn't do that on the Sagan. Damn it, I clicked off screen. Ooh, someone else. Someone else. Yay, yay, Rocky. Yes. Oh, I'm so glad to see it. I see you went with the same appearance hole as I did too. Maybe. I'll tell you if he did. No, he didn't. He is using the Constitution 3 hull, and I know they look exactly the same, but they are not. I have done something to make my hull look the same, so that I could have a different looking deflector, but have the standard look. This is what I mean by I really should show you this. Side note, I did take away the green. Yeah, some of you are probably wondering what the hell I mean by that. Okay. Now that we ran in here to say hello. And it's already got the green on there. Yeah, you can see it down here. As you can see, the green is on this section of the saucer here. It's very pale, very hard to notice, but it's there. And there is its standard deflector look. What I mean by Sagan is it does that to the deflector. Honestly, the lighter hull of the Sagan I think looks good on it. And if you do want to do my aesthetic appearance, which should now come on, yep, you can see I dropped the green, but I went with $0 $0 $16, and added Cassiopeia to all the whole color textures. These have been removed because that's what happens when you glitch it, because it's not supposed to have its marking job. This marking job only really works on the Constitution 3 hull. And you may notice 3 nacelles, but there's, well, technically there's only 2, but normally one of these nacelles counts as a pair. We're looking at this one. So if you're wondering, trying to figure out which one matters to what, the answer is this one. The lowest nacelle will do all those marking jobs. What these ones do is interesting. That is the inside, and I'm not sure if you can see it too well, so I'm going to have to spin it round. Yink. For some reason this side shows it better, but it may just be, oh no, it'd be better if I made it red, wouldn't it? Dunk. Yeah, you should just be able to see the color changing on the insides. That is both insides, both nacelles. And then this one is for the outsides of both nacelles. To demonstrate, once again, you can see it's now on the outside for that nacelle and inside the opposite. Straddle, you are such a nuisance to me, really, you are. But to be honest, did I just call you the Duderstadt? You're now the Duderstadt. Come on, get up and straddle that bitch. I'm sorry. Other side effects you can have, Constitution 3 is the obvious already on there, but you've got Defiant, looks quite nice, and I'm going to keep the deflector somewhat in visual, because it is good to be able to see the deflector as I do this. Galaxy, Intrepid, Nova class, anyone? Or was it Saber? I think it was the Saber that had the red. NX looks quite nice. Sagan, of course, Sovereign, and it's got that personal favourite that I love with the Sovereign holes. On the right ship, sometimes you get a yellow and blue deflector. For some reason, personally speaking, I love the way that looks. Best one that looks on is Trailblazer. slightly darker refit. Of course, you've got the Type 0 hull, which is very nice on this ship, if I'm completely honest. I think suits it very well, and I love the way that that is a sort of still glowing but number deflector now. Then you've got Type 1, Type 2, Type 3, Type 4, Type 5, Type 6, Type 7, Type 7A, Type 8, Type 8B, Upgrade and Veteran. And I should note that technically this one should look amazing on the ship, purely because, and frankly putting, it's the same one as the original Hornet. The original Hornet was TMP era, the Type 8B and Type 8 is TMP. It should look amazing. I'm actually kind of disappointed that it doesn't. But I thought it'd be worth showing that. Oh, anyone else noticed it yet though? I've got a universal bridge. Oh look, crossfield bridge. Terran crossfield. Strategic. Nah. I feel like I'm in a Romulan bridge. Or a chav. Maybe Vaudois. All bridges are now available on all ships, so keep that in mind. Now, enough pissing around. Here you go, the ship in action.
Get so mad, there's no controlling me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, I might grab a bat, I don't know. My wrath, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll bleed on your face just to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. I'ma poke a hole through you, choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude. Crack your holder too. Heating up inside of me, blood so violently. Thanks for trying me. Now it's finally time to see how this rivalry becomes a dynasty. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll bleed on your face just to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you gon' wish you would shut the fuck up real bad. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out
So, there we are. A ship that, honestly, I didn't think I was going to like. And, honestly, if I'm really honest, this is a ship that is very much aimed towards the science and the energy build side of things. I will still recommend her to most players because she's one of those ships which follows a interesting scenario where things are just fun with her. She's fun to watch fly, she's fun to experiment with. I don't know if it's because she's a miracle worker and I have a weakness for miracle workers. I don't know if it's because she's based on the USS Wasp, and of course that I have a huge weakness for. But it's a ship I do recommend. But bear in mind that it's not the most versatile. When you go in for build use, you are fundamentally either going for a tank or some variant of energy build or some variant of science. You try to stretch too far away from that and you're going to start having issues. So it's fine, but just remember where you're going with it. Honestly, the DEW-SCI is the best build. I don't think this ship is one of those ones that suits a complete science build, really. But I could be proven wrong. This is kind of why I wish I spoke to NeoJet first. With that being said, guys, thank you for watching. Please, if you have any thoughts, questions, or things that you'd like to correct me on, because this is a ship that actually puzzled me a lot. This is less of a review and more of a what the but seriously, comment below, let me know, and if you guys can correct any of my information, which I'll greatly appreciate, please let me know so I can pin your comment to the top as early as possible. That way I can make sure people are getting the correct information. And guys, on that same note, in case anyone's corrected me, please do check the comment section for any corrections. With that being said, guys, again, thank you for watching. A massive thank you to Tribal Typhoon, XG Blackbird, and Sky Hawkins, and I hope to see you guys in the future. It is my hope that one day this channel will reach a point of strength where it's supported purely by the viewers and, well, not by ad revenue, but we'll see how that goes. Thank you guys, until next time, live long and prosper.